Welcome to Big Time Sports Talk. So we're going to talk about basketball, baseball, and some court storming issues that came about over the weekend. We'll talk about that, and we'll try to post the uh, ESPN link to why I read this at. So the coaches are wanting to come together, and they want to ban court storming because of what happened between the Wake Forest Duke game after Wake beat Duke 83-79. So we'll go into that later on. Now, I'll read a little article for you that what they were stating from ESPN. So right now, let's get into basketball that we have today. We got a lot of basketball. A lot of basketball today. And then we got some D1 baseball coming up also. So let's get started with the basketball today. Um, there was some games. Yes, there was a game yesterday. A game. UNC, the Tar Heels of North Carolina, defeated Miami 75-71. That was the only game that was yesterday. But today, we have games slated for this evening. And we'll start with the 7 o'clock game. Virginia Tech at Syracuse. Virginia Tech 15-12, 7-9 in the ACC. Syracuse 18-10 and 9-8 in the ACC. The spread had Syracuse by 1.5, which the over and under total was 153.5. I don't really go all of that. You know, Virginia Tech lost the last game, but and then the other 7 o'clock game is Pittsburgh 18-9, 9-7 in ACC, going to Clemson, South Carolina to face Clemson, who is 19-8 and 9-7 in ACC. Then we got the 9 o'clock game. Oh, by the way, the Virginia Tech and Syracuse game will be on ESPN if you want to cover it and watch it online or on cable, whatever provider you have. 7 o'clock between Pittsburgh and Clemson will be on the ACC network. Then following that game will be the Nightcappers. This will be a 9 o'clock game on ACC network. Wake Forest 18-9 and 10-6 in ACC, taking on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in South Bend, Indiana, who are 10-17, 5-11 in the ACC. The spread is Wake by 6.5. Total over and under 134.5. Then we got the next game, which will be over on ESPN2. So you'll have to have your picture in picture or whatever, 2 TVs, and just kind of go back and forth if you want to keep up with both those games. 9 o'clock on ESPN, North Carolina State Wolfpack 17-10, 9-7 in the ACC, going to Florida to take on Florida State 14-13 and 8-8 in the ACC. The spread has FSU by 2.5. Over and under total is 151.5. We do have some games tomorrow. We'll go over to that game and let you know about that games. 7 o'clock on the ACC Network tomorrow. This is Wednesday, February 28th. Louisville, 8-19, 3-13 in the ACC, taking on the number 10 Duke Blue Devils, 21-6, 12-4 in the ACC. Duke is looking to get back, and I'm sure they will, unless there's a big upset in Durham, which I don't think it will be. This has been played in Durham. Louisville will go to Duke. And then we have another one coming up on ESPNU at 9 p.m. Virginia Cavaliers, 20-8, 11-6 in the ACC, taking on Boston College, 15-12, 6-10 in the ACC. There are no spreads on this one. They haven't come out yet. If you know the spread, you can go look for it on the internet, but it won't be up to date until tomorrow. So we won't go into the spread, but I think Duke will beat Louisville and Virginia will beat Boston College. So y'all know where that's going to go. So now we're going to go to D1 baseball. Got a lot of baseball. A lot of baseball. That's today at 3 p.m. VMI at Virginia. That's in Charlottesville, Virginia. Then we have Eastern Kentucky going to Louisville, Kentucky, Jim Patterson Stadium. These are all 3 p.m. games. Virginia Tech and Radford, which is at Radford, Virginia, Sherman Carter Memorial Stadium. If you want to go. So that'll be in Radford. I think that's over there. Off of 81, I think it's going towards Christiansburg, somewhere in that area. Anyway, we go to the 4 o'clock games. VCU will be at North Carolina, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Wake Forest will go to North Carolina A&T, just right up the road, about 30-minute drive. East Greensboro, North Carolina, World War Memorial Stadium. Wake Forest, North Carolina A&T. Also, the other 4 o'clock game, USC Upstate will be going to Clemson. It'll be in Clemson, South Carolina. Then we have Georgia State going to Atlanta, Georgia to take on Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Then the last 4 o'clock game will be Davidson at Duke. Duke is red hot, undefeated. The bats are really churning. Keep an eye on Duke. Then the last game today is 5 o'clock. South Florida going to Tallahassee to take on Florida State in Tallahassee, Florida, Mike Martin Field at Dick Howser Stadium. So that's it for basketball and baseball as far as if you know anything about the baseball games, you know what they're doing. Your team's winning, your team's not winning, your team's but everybody's winning right now till they get deep into the schedule. So when they get deep into the schedule, that's when you want to see some layoffs and see who the true teams are. So now we'll go to the And just to remind you, there are three teams undefeated still in baseball, which is FSU 6-0, Duke 7-0, and Virginia 7-0. The rest of them have lost a game or two. But so, like I said, let's go to the court storming issue here. We have on ESPN. I'll see if I can put the link up on when I post it on YouTube and others. I'll more than likely post it on YouTube. No way I'll post it. Then that way you can just go to YouTube and look at it. This will college coach leaders call for court storming regulations. So from Lawrence, Kansas, on Monday, John Shire and Bill Self initiated and other college basketball leaders called for a ban on court storming in college basketball due to safety concerns and potential legal impacts of athletics and students. So the conversations about court storming escalated over the weekend after Duke star Kyle Filipowski was bumped by Wake Forest fans who spilled onto the floor following the Demon Deacons' 83-79 win over the Blue Devils on Saturday. So that incident unfolded just weeks after a fan ran into women's basketball superstar Catelyn Clark after Iowa's upset loss at Ohio State. Now, I seen the video myself. I seen the raw footage, and I've seen it several different. And it looks to me like that Filipowski put his legs out to try to trip one of the fans coming onto the court. So they need to do something about that too. If they want to do something about court storming, uh, I mean they can have regulations if they want to, but I suggest if you want to solve the problem, just put up a plastic glass around the ring. I mean around the court. You know where people are sitting at, like they do in hockey. You know, then they can see through the glass of what's going on. And that'll keep the fans from coming onto the court if they don't want to. If they do, then they'll have a door they can come in. But if they want to come onto the court, then they'll have to wait until after the players have left the court. That's my suggestion. So let me continue with what they said. On the ACC media teleconference call on Monday, Shire said the ACC should implement a court storming ban now and not wait to address the issues of this offseason. In other words, they want to go ahead and ban court storming as soon as possible. But he also said that Filipowski avoided a major injury during the court storming incident, but was a little bit sore on Monday. So Filipowski is going to be okay. So I don't know what the crying is. So on both sides of the ball, there's been court storming for years, way before I was even born. You was even born. They did all that. So they want to change it because they had uh, just a few seconds on the clock, which wasn't going to make any difference anyway. And they want to, find a way somehow to try to overturn the game, I guess, and give them the win. But but that's not going to happen. I don't care who you are, whether you're Wake or Duke or North Carolina. When you storm the court, you don't complain. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm against court storming too. The way it happened. Because it shouldn't have. Uh, at least they should have addressed the fans and let them know not to storm the court until the players have left the court. And if that doesn't work, then there's other avenues to go to. Um, 11 conferences: the Atlantic 10, Big 10. I mean, the Atlantic 10, Big East, Big South, Big 10, Big 12 Conference, USA, Mid Eastern Athletic Pac-12 WAC Southeastern West Coast recently told ESPN that the home school for a court storm could be subject to a fine under certain circumstances. The ACC commissioner and ACC has no plans on fining Wake Forest for that. Uh, According to the commissioner, there's no fine. That's going to be that. So, but Self told ESPN on Monday, said, let's get rid of it totally. I don't see the positive impact from a visual standpoint. Says, I said, our games has excitement and people are excited about college basketball so much. Court storming is as big of a positive as a potential negative that exists with somebody getting hurt or lawsuits. That's what the Self told ESPN on Monday. Now, Self also said he watched the video of the Wake Forest court storming on Saturday and believed Philip had no opportunity to prepare for the moment when fans were ran onto the court. No, they hadn't, but at the same time, he knew that it was going to happen, and he tried to get away from it, and he stuck his leg out there, according to raw video. So I think both the fan and Filipowski were both in jeopardy of being hurt. I mean, you got people that can be hurt because so many people storming the court, that you don't know who's going to get hurt and stampeded. I mean, a fan can stampede another fan and run over everybody. So yeah, there should be some sort of action taken on how they're going to deal with it. But as far as banning it, I don't think it should be banned. I just think it should be regulated. I think that, and it's up to the school to do that, and it's up to the conferences to decide how they're going to do it. And I told you what I thought how it should be done. It should be done with plastic glass around the court, like they do in hockey. There's nothing wrong with that. And people go to hockey games all the time and they enjoy it. If you have to enjoy the game by storming the court, then you're there for the wrong reason. Storming the court is not going to solve any problems except get people hurt. But I don't see nothing wrong with them going on the court as long as the players and the coaches have uh, left the court side. They need to go ahead and wait until for players' safety. But there's also safety concerning the fans and students storming the court. They could get hurt too because they could fall and they could slip and they can, you know, and they can stampede everyone like a bunch of bulls, rushing like they do in Mexico. But anyway, you know, you have a you have a stampede of horses, you have a stampede of cows. You're gonna want to get away from them because they're gonna stampede you, and they can stampede each other. Because I've known cows to fall down and horses to fall down and get stampede. So you get my point. So banning court storming is not the way to go for right now anyway. Because it hasn't really killed anybody, but it's hurt someone. I don't know of any incidents where uh, but but uh, but Self goes on to say that probably is a court storming probably been stormed on about as much as anybody. It says Kansas talking about their team. Kansas has been stormed on as much as anybody. Because they probably won more championships than most people except North Carolina. And but you can make all kind of excuses. But the fact is, something can be done about it, but without banning it. So I'll leave you the link So you can read the whole article down at the bottom if you want to see it. So this is Big Time Sports Talk. I hope that on a Tuesday, this is being taped in the morning, so I hope that you'll see the video. You'll see these stuff that's going on. Uh, so you see down at the bottom, there's a link down at the bottom of it. It says they made an issue with court storming bans. So, but we have other things that we talked about beforehand. So I want everybody to go ahead and watch their game today and have a good week. And we'll have some more big games on Saturday. And hopefully I'll get into that later on in the week. So this is David Lawson, your host for Big Time Sports Talk. So you give your opinion on court storming. What should be done about it? Should it be banned? Should this be regulated? Should the schools across the country do what they got to do, to make sure that their fans don't storm the court and hurt somebody? What is your opinion? You put it down on the comments below and subscribe to me. I'm David Lawson. You have a good week. Bye bye.